This is the SALT states demonstration for SUSE Manager. As we've mentioned before, SUSE Manager has SALT integrated to it, and we also mentioned how important states are for you to be able to manage your systems. We're going to demonstrate how SALT states are integrated with two different constructs within SUSE Manager. The first one is the one that's probably most commonly used, and that is with system groups. As you know, system groups within SUSE Manager can be done by designation, by location, by function, by any other administrative construct that's important to you. So you'll notice in this situation I have a location, Paris, and I have system groups ordered by operating system type. So I'm going to take a look at this /12 systems group, and this could be /12 SP1, it could be /12 SP2, or both, or any of the above. I can see the systems that are registered with me, and I have 3 of them. They're all /12, but you can see this one is /12 SP2, this one is /12 SP1. So I have different systems that are each assigned here. Now I'm going to go to states, and this shows the custom states that are associated with this group. I have the same state catalog available to me system-wide. So you can see I have this SLE12 web state. I want to see what's in that. I can simply click on it, and it will drop down a window that's non-editable at this point, and it shows me what's in the SLE12 web state. I'm going to go through each of these sections for you to be able to understand what's going on here. These states occur in the order in which they appear in the state file, or the SLS file, as SALT calls it. First, I'm doing a package installed. So it's validating that I have the Apache 2 package installed. It doesn't specify zipper or yum or any of those things, it just installs it. And it validates that it's installed. So if it's already there, I will still get a positive. If it isn't there, it will install the package and then present a positive result. The second one is an interesting one. This is about a service. So I want the HTTPD service running, not just running, and the name of it is alliterated here, Apache 2. We'll do this on Red Hat so you can see some differentiation as well. And then I'm going to say enable it to be true. That way it persists in its execution post-boot. So that way if I boot it again, my web server is still going to be running. Like any good administrator, I turn off the software-based firewall on this particular system because I don't want it to be blocking my traffic for the web server. I've also created here a managed file. So this is the core of what configuration management would be. In this case, I'm managing the index file for my web server. Notice that I have a /web/index.html. This is actually under the SRV SALT directory of my SUSE Manager server. Where that actual index file resides is under that subdirectory of web. That is arbitrary. I can create subdirectories that I reference within my SALT states regardless of what I name them. But this one happens to be index.html and corresponds to this. So when I assign this state or apply this state to my systems, all of them will have a running web server. I've already opened the web page to this web server, and you can see that this is a /12 web server, and it's not really running super good right now. So we're going to go ahead and apply this state, and on each of the systems within this system group now, that state is concurrently being applied. So it isn't waiting for the first one to finish before it does the second one. It does the entire group and sends that out to them in parallel. I can look at my schedule and see that it's happening. So right now it's pending on 3 of these states, 3 of these systems. So that's all 3 of them that I've selected. And it uses this custom group, this designation number is 30. This is internally referenced by SUSE Manager. We chose it by the system group that corresponds to SLES 12 SP1 systems. So while this is applying, I'm going to basically repeat the process and do it for the Red Hat system. So I only have one within my portfolio because I mostly really love SLES and kind of like Red Hat. So I'm going to do this RH web state, and this one looks a little bit different here. So here under Apache, my service is running, but the name of it is not Apache 2 like on SLES, it's HTTPD. The name of my firewall is not SUSE Firewall, it's Firewall D, because this is Red Hat 7. And the location of my index file that I use on SLES is a different place on the Red Hat-based system, and I put it where it corresponds to make sense. This is a shortcut notation here where I have var www html. I could put this in a different place and give this declarative up here a different name. But in any case, this is sort of a shortcut notation for me in terms of how I'm using this. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my Red Hat minion. So let's look at our scheduler and see where we are in process. So it looks like the SLES one's already done. So let's go to this page. I'm pretty sure this is my SLES server. Yeah, look at that. Woohoo! So we've gotten my my awesome HTML coding is on display here, and you get to see that I have a web server now with a salt state. So all the things that I needed to make a web server, all done in one swing with this box. So let's make sure we get it done on the Red Hat side, and I'll show you what the results look like actually on this box. So when my schedule is completed, let's look at the completed actions here. So I succeeded here on 2 servers of my 3, and here they are. So if I drill down on this system, I have event history here. Here's what happened. So Apache was not installed before. This thing installed all of them, plus the dependencies. So you can see that it picked up new files in each of these cases. So index.html was updated, and it changed it to match what's on my SUSE Manager server, and it killed off the firewall. Firewall in this case was already dead, so it was stopped, but it allowed me to succeed. And the same thing with Apache 2. It's not just enabled, so it starts on boot, but it's actually running now. So all of these things that I told it to do successfully applied, and that's how we got the results up here that we did a web server with a salt state. Let's take a look at it, how it did on the Red Hat side. It looks like it's completed. Let's follow that up and make sure that my one system completed. So I can see succeeded here, and the Paris Cent 7 EMEA minion completed, and much like on the SLES side, I can see it turned off the firewall, so Firewall D is dead. It installed the Apache package. The HTTPD is what it's called on the Red Hat side. It didn't exist, but it installed it. And then also it managed this index.html file. So now if I go to my Red Hat server page, I should be able to refresh this and see, look, it works. A Red Hat-based web server with a salt state. So and this one is a little bit different because I had to put in here something that differentiated it so that I know I'm using an index file that corresponds to what the function of my CentOS or Red Hat system might be. So this is an example of how you can apply states at the group level. Now we're going to apply them on the organization level from SUSE Manager. So SUSE Manager, as you know, has organizations. My organization here is SUSE EMEA. So I'm going to go to Admin and Organizations. And much like with groups, when I select my organization, I have a tab that assigns it states. These states again are in the states library. So you can see that this one is EMEA MOTD. So in your organization, you probably have a message of the day you want to appear on all of your systems, regardless of architecture or distribution. And in this case, I have one here. Let's take a look at what we've got in terms of message of the day already on these boxes. So I'm going to do cat of etc MOTD, which is where the file resides. I'm only going to look at the systems that are for my location, which today it's Paris. I can click on preview here and it will collect all the minions that it might have run this on, and now I can actually run it. If I wish to look at some of the messages of the day, you can see this says SUSE Expert Days. Please register this system, but that's not really what I want it to say. And we don't want public cloud crud on there. I know this is out there in Amazon's public cloud, but I'd rather have something that really tells it, hey, it's managed with SUSE Manager. So I've created a salt state that does that. When I look at my catalog and this EMEA MOTD, you can see I've created a managed file that goes to this EMEA MOTD file. Now we're going to apply it on the organization level. And you can do this a number of ways. We're choosing to go to the state within the organization and then do the application. So it's already assigned to this organization but not yet applied. So I'm going to click on the word apply. And now that custom state has been scheduled to happen for each of the minion servers within this organization. When I look out at my schedule, it's already completed. So this is very quick. Again, it happens in parallel on all of the systems. I have 5 minions. It succeeded on all 5. So I click on the number 5 and I can see that each of these is succeeded to have applied that state. Now we're going to go back and run the very same command we did earlier. So I go to remote commands and I do cat of etc. Come on. You have to have the cursor in the right box in order to get it to work.
Let's get a nice clean recording then.
Okay.
Take a breather.
So I click on Salt and Remote Commands. And here I'm going to type the exact same command that I did earlier to show that it was not correct. Cat of etc MOTD, message of the day. Over here in my selection, I want to edit this to make sure I only filter out to show the servers that matter to me today. So these are going to be all the Paris systems, and I'm going to again look at message of the day. When I click on preview, I get my list. When I click on run, now you can see it has aligned all the messages of the day to be aligned with my organization, and I've accomplished exactly what I wanted to, regardless of whether these are SLES or Red Hat systems. All of them are consistently have a message of the day that says, enjoy the demo, ciao. And that's it.